Yes, certainly. My name's Dale Jarvis. I work as Associate Director in the International Office. I currently am in charge mainly for East Asia, so I travel quite regularly to Korea. So if any of you ever come to Sheffield and you see me, I would be very happy for you to wave and say hello to me, no problem. Generally, Sheffield is one of the Russell Group universities. We are currently ranked 17th in the whole of the UK at the moment. We are one of the very old, long-standing universities. We have done very, very well this year, particularly in a number of our rankings. We are number one in the UK at the moment for our accommodation. We're number one in the UK for our library facilities. We're number one for our Students' Union. The Students' Union involves not just the clubs and the pubs and the kind of the party places, but it involves basically like the student experience, things like as I say, the libraries, any clubs and societies that you want to get to involved with. We are number two overall this year for our student experience. So that encapsulates not just the academic side, but also the kind of outside the classroom, the kind of things that students can get involved with. We're very, very strong for that. Sheffield is the fourth biggest city in England overall, and generally it's a very, very, very good study environment for students to be able to come to. We have a lot of students that go on to stay at Sheffield because they enjoy it so much. So the good thing is that Sheffield is also very, very close to the city centre, so most students are able to walk to where they need to get to. I mean, generally we have a very good reputation. We're number one in the UK for our architecture courses, for landscape architecture. We're also number one in the UK for journalism. Generally for engineering, whether it be mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, we're always in the top 10 for any of our sort of engineering departments. We're also in the top 3 in the country for politics. We're also very high for philosophy, in the top 3. The kind of subjects that I've just mentioned tend to be the more popular ones for Korean students. We tend to get a lot, particularly for philosophy, for politics. We also do very well for business management. We get a lot of very, very good applications from there. But I'd probably say the number one subject area for Koreans at Sheffield is probably politics or international relations, definitely. Which sort of quality? Generally it's a mixture really. It's very hard to pick out one particular quality that is the most important. I would say certainly we firstly look at the GPA. Obviously the IELTS is very important. Lots of people think the personal statement or what you actually write about yourself isn't as important, but certainly if your GPA is maybe borderline or not quite good enough to get into the university, sometimes it can be the difference between you getting an offer and not getting an offer. So I would certainly say the GPA, the IELTS, the personal statement, and also the references from the lecturer or the teacher. So anybody watching this, make sure you choose good lecturers that are going to teach you. Yeah, sure. I mean, as Korean students, I'll give you all the Korean scholarships that are obviously specific to Korea. First of all, I'll talk about the undergraduate scholarships. We have £1,500 if any student chooses to study law. We have a £2,000 scholarship for any engineering applicant, and also £2,000 for any kind of science-related subject. They're all the sort of the scholarships that we offer for undergraduate students. If you're a postgraduate Korean student, that's for a master's degree, we have £1,500 depending upon how much your tuition fees are. If you pay over around about £13,000 for the year, you get a guaranteed £2,000 scholarship. So generally, any Korean student that is a postgraduate student will definitely get a scholarship. It just depends upon how much they get, whether it be £1,500 or £2,000, depending upon their tuition fees. So it's our little special way at Sheffield of saying thank you for choosing Sheffield as a Korean student. Also, one other scholarship I forgot to mention, sorry, is the Postgraduate Korean Merit Scholarship. Now, the other scholarships that I mentioned, they're guaranteed. You don't have to do anything to apply for those. They basically come off the tuition fees. But there is one very, very lucky Korean postgraduate student every year that gets £6,500 for their scholarship. But they need to apply for that. So that is based on their GPA, IELTS, their university, and most importantly, their personal statements.